Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Earlier this year, June 18th, 2018, there was the death of two rappers. One with a very hard name to pronounce Triple X. I believe it's XXXtentacion, something like that. And there was also Jimmy Wopo. And both of their deaths came about a year after the death of Prodigy, the rapper from Mobb Deep, who died at age 42. He died from sickle cell right next to Sickle Cell Awareness Day and on the weekend of the release of Tupac's movie All Eyes on Me, where in history Tupac had the song making fun of Prodigy and his sickle cell anemia. All of these things are part of sick rituals, and I want to show you how the death of those two rappers is synced up with the death of Mac Miller today, September 7th, which is the day in history that Tupac was shot in Las Vegas. He would die 6 days later. But from the day of the death of the two rappers on June 18th to today, September 7th, is 81 days. And I call that the ritual number. In Gematria, with the alphabetic order, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. Use the alphabetic order, the word ritual equals 81. When you flip the alphabetic order around and you make Z as 1 and you count backwards to A as 26, ritual still sums to 81. This year on August 1st, it was the day of 81 rituals. Obama endorsed 81 candidates for the midterm elections. Urban Meyer got suspended. He had coached 81 games to date at Ohio State. He has 81 birth numerology. The Dow Jones also fell 81 points that day. And for years, we've talked about 81, the ritual number. Now, that Triple X rapper, his birth name is Jose Dwayne Onfroy, which has Gematria of 81. And he got more attention of the two rappers killed. So, we're going to go back. There's a lot of information here. I don't want to confuse you, but there is a lot of content here, so please pay attention. We'll start with Jimmy Wopo. His initials, JW, 33. Special number to rock stars, pop stars, rappers, masonry. What's interesting about his initials equaling 33 is that when you write out 33 as a word, it sums to 156, and he died 156 days after his birthday. We see these parallels with 33 and 156 often. We just talked about the death of Mac Miller today, 33 weeks after his birthday. Miller equals 33. Mac Miller also died 231 days after his birthday. Ariana Grande equals 231. If you missed the videos I did on Mac Miller, please see the playlist. There's a lot of content, a lot of rituals going on here, trying to uncover them piece by piece. So the day that Triple X and Jimmy W died, June 18th, 18, it was a date with 42 numerology. This number stamped all over Black history. In the base ciphers, all of these words down here sum to 42. His full name, Jimmy Wopo, was Trayvon Deshaun Frank Smart, which sums to 142. Just like when you write out 42 as a word, it sums to 142. This number stamped all over Black history. The name Jackie equals 42. Of course, he wore 42. The first black baseball player in white major league actually wasn't Jackie Robinson. It was Moses Walker. Moses Walker equals 42. He played in exactly 42 games. You know, if you've ever seen the sitcom Martin, the name Martin equals 42. He lived in apartment 42. Always a number that's a riddle with Black history. This year on Jackie Robinson's birthday, there were 3 black celebrities that died, all with name Gematria 42. One was a baseball player who died 42 days after his own birthday. Is that Oscar Gamble? I'm trying to think of his name. He had the big afro. Used to have a video on it. It's all covered in my book, Murder by Numbers. And this coding of 42, it's also covered in my book, Letters and Numbers. The book Letters and Numbers has the long chapter, Murder by Numbers, as the chapter on the race war, many other things. Teaches you the code, how it's used throughout history. But just understand, it's no coincidence that all of these black men dying in connection to 42. Again, the rapper Prodigy died June 20th, a year earlier, at 42, in Vegas, like Tupac. The date that the two rappers died earlier this year, June 18th, 2018, it was also a date with 62 numerology. Sacrifice 62. We just talked about this with Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin died on a date with 62 numerology. Queen equals 62. Madonna 62. She died on Madonna's birthday. The Queen of Soul died on the Queen of Pop's birthday. Motown equals 62 where she died. Motown on the 42nd parallel. So, those were some of the standout things about Jimmy's death. Now here's Triple X, dead the same day. If you write out June 18th, it sums to 151. And if you write out the rapper's name, it also sums to 151. Base ciphers, alphabetic order, forwards and backwards. And what jumps out right away about that 151 in light of his rap name is 151's the 36th prime number. And 36, if you add 1 through 36 together, it sums to 666, the number of the beast. 666, the 36th triangular number. In Revelation of the Bible, where you learn about 666, the beast rules for 42 months. Anyway, 666 matters because XXX breaks down to 666. X is the 24th letter. In numerology, 24 is 2 plus 4 is 6. So X is 6, another X is 6, another X is 6. But it doesn't end there with him. His full name, Jose Dwayne Onfroy, with the alphabetic order, sums to 216. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. Think back when LeBron was on the Cavs. He became the first player to go to 6 straight finals since 66. That was a headline that ESPN had up that year. Captured that headline and put it in my book. LeBron, the first player to go to 6 straight finals since 66. The name LeBron James equals 42. The last player to do it was Bill Russell. Bill Russell equals 42. And think about the numerology of 42. 4 plus 2, 6 for another 6. In Gematria, basketball game equals 666. So does the NBA Finals 666. So that's why they do those rituals with LeBron. For another little tip about 666, Revelation 13:18, which teaches you about the number of the beast, the number of a man, 666. The book Revelation was originally written in Greek. The Greek alphabet was letters and numbers. When you coded letters and numbers together, it was called isopsophy, which equals 666 in English. Not coincidentally. You know how celebrities will do the 666 thing and put it around their eye? The word fingers in this cipher sums to 666. Don't call it a coincidence. But anyway, his name 216, again 6 times 6 times 6, 216. His name Jose in the Sumerian cipher, his first name, equals 666. So what clever person do you think gave him the triple X start to his rap name? You know, my sister, I just saw she took a picture with her middle-aged son. My mom showed it to me. And the middle-aged son, he was wearing a sweatshirt with this rapper's face on it, an R.I.P. sweatshirt. And I was just thinking, it's too bad that my sister thinks this whole code of letters and numbers is a bunch of BS. You know, you look at a guy like this, it's just undeniable what they're doing. So anyway, the name Jesus Christ also has gematria of 151, as well as 146 in the base ciphers, alphabetic order forwards and backwards. And I've talked about this before, it's covered in my book. A lot of black people are killed in what I call Jesus Christ rituals, including Tupac Shakur, which I just talked about in the last video and something I've talked about a million times before. The reason why is because there's only one physical description of Jesus Christ in the Bible. It's also in Revelation. It's Revelation 1:14. Jesus Christ has hair of wool and skin of burnt brass. Now, who has hair of wool and burnt looking skin? Not a white person. We'll just leave it there. But anyway, Jesus Christ, 151, 146. This man died 146 days from his birthday. You know, what are the odds? Now also in the base cipher, his name sums to 61, like Jesus, like cross. 61's the 18th prime. He died on June 18th in the year 18. 18 factors into 6 plus 6 plus 6. You know? 6th month, 18th day, 2018. We'll talk about how he was just 20 years old too, and what that has to do with a cross as well. We're going to get there. Tupac also has that Gematria 61. Tupac's album released after his death, Machiavelli, play on Machiavelli. On the cross, not a coincidence. See the last video I did, because there's a lot deeper coding with Machiavelli and Jesus and Tupac and Shakur and Rapper. But we just covered that. So anyway, all of these things are interconnected. Mac Miller getting shot on the 22-year anniversary, or dying, on the 22-year anniversary of Tupac getting shot. Today's date, September 7th, 7/9, like 79. 79 is the 22nd prime number. Murder equals 79. Mac Miller's full name in Gematria equals 79, his birth name, as covered. But just understand, I'm just trying to show you, all of this is an intertwined ritual. Tupac, Mac Miller, XXX, Jimmy Wopo, Prodigy, and there's been other riddles off this, but these are the ones we're hitting right now. Now look at his name with the alphabetic order. 139 like Tupac Shakur, like Freemasonry. This Freemasonry uses this code of letters and numbers. Tupac, dead on September 13th. 13/9 like 139. Dead in the year 96. Freemason equals 96. Today, September 7th, is the day leaving 115 days left in the year. Masonic and killing have Gematria of 115. Now, like we said, the two rappers died 81 days before Mac Miller dead on this anniversary of Tupac getting shot. 81, the ritual number, also connecting to the Gematria of XXX's birth name. The date of June 18th, 2018, it was a date with a life lesson number of 35 in numerology. 6 plus 18 is 24, plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 is 11 more, 35. Rap equals 35. Today, Mac Miller OD'd 35 days after the release of his album. OD 35. Svengali, look it up, word of the day. It means a person in the entertainment industry that has an evil influence over an entertainer, a singer, an actor, an athlete. Svengali. Just did a video on the death of Aretha Franklin and the Svengali ritual there with Nicki Minaj and her Queen album, and Madonna at the VMAs, the 35th VMAs, talking about $35 in her pocket. Nicki Minaj released her Queen album 35 weeks after her 35th birthday. Rap, You understand this code, you see through it, it is rap, When XXX died, the breaking headlines were that he died in Florida. Killing, Florida, Gematria 43, Jesus Christ, Gematria 43, one more. More importantly, Florida sums to 38, like rapper, like death, like killing, like murder, like RIP. Cross has the Gematria of 38. XXX, an X, tilted upright, it's a cross. An X and a cross are the same shape, just how they're arranged. Tupac died September 13th, 1996, a date with 38 numerology. Notorious B.I.G. died March 9th, 1997, a date with 38 numerology. A lot of celebrities, rappers have died in connection to this number. Mac Miller just released his last album August 3rd, 3/8, like 38. Now here's the thing about XXX. He was 20 years old when he died. He got the majority of attention of the two rappers who died that day. T, the 20th letter, is like a cross. And if you tilt it on its side, it's also something like an X. T, the 20th letter. With the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, cross equals 20. So does death. Death 20. This is why they took this young man's life at this age, and he was branded with all sorts of tattoos. You see all these rappers, you see all these athletes, period, with all these tattoos on their body. They're not choosing to put this on their body. They sign their lives away to get their big record deal, their huge contracts, have the nice cars, the nice house, the publicity, all that comes with it, but they don't realize that when they sign that contract, they also sign their life away. The people who run this record industry, there's some sick people. Listen to David Bowie's song from decades ago, Rock and Roll Suicide. Listen to the lyrics of that song. Too young to choose it. Song's about signing your life away when you're too young. All these big superstar entertainers, they all start when they're young. The powers that shouldn't be, they like to get people when they're young. They like to dupe young people into thinking be all they can be in the New World Order mercenary military. You don't have any other route to get an education? Join the military. We'll get you an education. You're just going to have to be a killing machine first. You know? They like to get the minds of the young. So, I hope I explained that clearly enough. A lot of rituals here, a lot of numbers. But, you know, if you're new here, stick around. You'll learn a whole lot. If you want to learn this code yourself, here's my 773-page book that's priced at $5. Took me 5 years to write. Went through a lot to get this book out there. And, you know, I priced it at $5 because everyone deserves to have it. Everyone can afford $5. You will learn a ton. You know, read the reviews. Read what people are saying about this book. Longest chapter is Murder by Numbers. Like I said in that chapter, got to get the word out. People got to know about this so we can put an end to it. You know, too many young people dying, too many people being murdered. Plus everything else I expose in the book. So, we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Until next time.